everyone, it's Kenny. Welcome back to Too Many Conversations with Kenny Too Many. This is episode 3. If you want to watch either of the first two episodes, one talking about and dealing with grief, and the second working on self worth and self improvement, you can find them on my YouTube channel. Today, I figured we would discuss. I had something else lined up for this, and a guest, uh, and a guest slot. That's going to come further down the line. Which is probably going to be like between 2 and 3 episodes worth of content. Um, but today I wanted to have like a professionalism discussion, like work, jobs, careers. Um, Now, I'm only 36 years old. Well, I'll be 36 tomorrow. My experience is still quite great. Um, I didn't have the traditional college level experience that some kids get. They go to high school, graduate 18 to 21. They work odd jobs and go to school. I was a father when I was 18. So I had to kind of jump into the workforce pretty heavy to take care of my family. Um, that includes doing every job under the sun that you never want to do for the rest of your life. I started as a car salesman. I did landscaping. I was a warehouse manager. I worked a warehouse. I got forklift certified. Yeah, your boy is forklift certified. That's right. Um, I did landscaping, warehousing. I did manufacturing. I worked at Torrey Plastics. I sold cars at 2 different dealerships. I worked in a temporary position, um, or through a temp agency at multiple different places. I worked for a metal company where we would take all different types of metals in different quantities and amounts and ship them out to different manufacturing facilities for smelting and whatnot. Um, I worked at a dealership where I was doing internet parts sales, and that was truly when things kind of changed. Because then I got the opportunity. I stayed there for over a year, which was the longest time I've held a job up until that point. And then I kind of jumped into IT. I worked as an engineer in IT at a company my dad worked for, and I worked my way up through the ranks. I worked onto the sales side of the house. I did sales support. Uh, then that company was purchased, so I was part of this new company doing the same thing. Then I had the opportunity to move to a new company and create something new from scratch, curated documentation, pricing tools, blah, 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 all that stuff. But it was new, it was a smaller company, and it was creating things. And then I got a taste of what outside sales could do for me when I was given the opportunity to become a business development manager. Well, that was stolen from me when I was supposed to be the bridge between two companies when we were launching this new managed services company. And before it happened, I was let go. And that was September of 2022. Then I took a job back at a company I'd already worked for, one that the money was okay and I knew I could do with my eyes closed. And now I'm currently on the job hunt. Um, I got laid off from that company, and I'm currently looking for a job. But I'm optimistic and I'm positive, and honestly, I feel better being unemployed, searching for something that's going to give me better growth opportunity and um, better it, it's going to help me move towards my goals. Like, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? Career versus job type of thing. So, in doing this process, interviewing again and looking for not the perfect job, but a good job that's going to set me on my trajectory that I want to do so I can forge my own path, it got me to thinking to have this conversation. And then it got me thinking, well, what's the difference between a job or what we consider work and a career? And at a base level, a job is somewhere you go to get paid. You do tasks, you leave, it pays. It pays the bills. It's not necessarily fulfilling, challenging, etc. Your warehouse work, your food service, Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, everything you did when maybe when you were younger, when you started working, things that don't take a lot of experience, things that also don't pay very well and don't have a lot of benefits. And they're the things you don't want to do for the rest of your life. And a career is the opposite of that. A career is what you want to do for the rest of your life. What you're gonna be passionate about, what you're gonna push forward with, where the most growth is, both personally, professionally, and in your pocket, in your wallet. It's not always about money. It's more about fulfillment. But people who talk about, oh yeah, my career, they're passionate about it. It's something they love to do, regardless of if it's a job or it's work. Because everything is work. That's what a true career is. The jobs and the works are the early things in your life, temporary jobs. And those are the ones where you have multiple of them. At one point, I was working at Task of Four doing internet parts sales during the day, and at night, I was working at McDonald's. I was 20 something, and that's what I had to do to pay the bills. But nobody has multiple careers, not in the sense of like everyday average Joe. You're 9 to 5 people, salespeople, IT people, engineers, professional athletes, movie actors, and stuff like that. Obviously, some do music, some do movies, and that's multiple careers if you really want to put it. But that's not what we're speaking about here. The sooner you find out what you want to do for your life, the easier it is to put yourself on a personal and professional career path to get you where you want to go. Whether that's work experience, job experience, mentorships, internships, continued learning both in school and outside of school, figuring out what you want your career to be earlier the better. Obviously, everybody's life is different, and more often than not, you don't figure that out when it's convenient. I certainly didn't. I knew what I wanted to do, but I'm not really setting myself on that path until like right now in the last like maybe year and a half of my life. But I knew I wanted to do something sales oriented well before that. It was just taking the plunge and setting myself up. It really comes to the continued growth and challenge in education to be better when you're pursuing that career. So, for instance, um, I'm not doing anything school related, but I'm doing a bunch of LinkedIn sales modules, which cool enough, whether they're simplistic or not, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, that gets added to your LinkedIn resume. People can see that. So people are seeing that you're taking the extra steps to go the extra levels to do something different and grow your knowledge in a certain area. That's great. I have books, clients for life, spin selling, the challenger sale. I have neuro selling, which is another one coming in. It's all dry reading, but it's knowledge and learning about what I want to do as my career and how I grow my career. That's how you continue to grow. That's how you get to that next level. And get because you will sometimes get stuck. And where you get stuck, you get plateaus in your career. Like I've worked and I've worked and I've worked and I've crested and I'm just flat. I don't see a career path. I don't see a growth path. I don't like, am I supposed to be my boss's boss? Or you see the lack of growth. You've seen people who work in the same positions as you get stunted and get stopped and get stagnant. And in realizing sooner rather than later, and points in my career, I realized later rather than sooner and didn't make a change. At that point, you need to make a change. Yeah, you may be comfortable doing what you're doing, but you're no longer passionate. There's no longer a trajectory. You need to make a change. And that's when you get to really truly think about it. Is what I'm doing here, is the place holding me back? Or is it the position, or is it myself? And figuring that out will help you make your next decision. If it's the place, maybe you need to find another job somewhere else in the same vein that maybe has a better, clearly uh, put forth career path and trajectory. Maybe it's the environment. Maybe it's the environment. Maybe you need to do something similar within another team. Um, and maybe it's just not the position for you. And that's what I found with me. Maybe you're really good at it, but that's not what you're passionate about. You can take those skills and experiences that you've accrued over however long, and you can put them to use somewhere else, especially if you stay within the same vertical like I have, like within IT. I've seen everything full stack, from engineering all the way up to frontline sales and everything in between. That gives me a unique view when I move into sales, because I can talk to all those different levels. But that's not where my most skill set is. It's right in the middle. It's that sales operations and business operations. But I can put those skills to use, and you can too. Anything you've learned throughout your time, whether it's people skills, soft skills, or smart eye skills, IQ skills, engineering skills, anything, everything can be put to use in some way, shape, or form with you pursuing your career path. And 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 really, it's finding the next best step. It's not always jumping right into it. For instance, I could jump right into a full outside sales role right now. Could I be successful? Possibly. Maybe. Could be in like a 90 percentile, easy. But that's a risk. But if I put my proven skills of operation stuff, as well as what I'm trying to learn and what I've already learned, into a role that's sort of intermediary, I am getting those new skills. I'm getting those new experiences while putting my proven stuff to work. That's the best case scenario. So that's what I'm saying. If you're looking to change towards something, use an intermediary style position that puts your existing stuff to good use, so you can really ramp up and get off the ground quickly, but also have it have an element that you need to learn and want to get better at, that pushes you towards that end goal of what you truly want your career to be, what you're truly passionate about. And talk through that stuff. Use mentorship. Talk to people in the positions ahead of you and behind you. Talk to your managers. Talk to your peers. Bounce your ideas off of people. You never want to be the smartest person in the room, because that means you're in the wrong room. And what I realized in this, and to sort of switch gears, um, is interviewing. Interviewing skills are underrated, um, especially nowadays. Uh, it was always very stereotypical before. Whenever I've interviewed, it's like HR gets to know you, and then you meet with 1 to 2 to maybe 3 people regarding the position, and it's all about skills, experience, and basically what can you do for the company at a task level. So it's really taking the EQ out of the situation and really focusing on IQ. The problem is jobs aren't all IQ. There are people skills, there are soft skills, there's emotional intelligence. Are you a good fit for the company? Are you a good fit for the team at a work ethic level, at a personality level? You can be the smartest guy and be a complete dick, and you're not a good fit, because you can always teach people task system based stuff. You can teach people how to do the job, but how to conduct themselves in a team and work with people, deal with clients. Soft skills aren't that easy to teach. Sometimes they're damn near impossible. And what I noticed through my interviewing recently is companies have really changed. Transparency, honesty, not a lot of fluff, question asking, story sharing, talking about culture, and really trying to get to know you. I've had like 5 calls over the last 5 business days with 5 different people from a company. They were all super personal, super personable. it truly felt like they were trying to get to know me as a person while verifying my experience and skills given the role that we're talking about. And I think it's underrated. And I think you're more often than not going to find more lifelong or long tenured people who help push the company forward, both at a revenue perspective, but also at the team level and the culture level. If you do this type of interviewing, you're going to get people who want to be there. You're going to get people who have a good work ethic, who work good with people, who are going to push friends and family and whatnot in your direction. You're going to build relationships both inside and out of work. Those are the people you want on your team. And seeing companies adapt these tactics of focusing on EQ over IQ are going to really help, honestly, um, work the workforce flourish, in my opinion, because you're going to have people who are going to be loyal, who are going to want to be there, who are going to work hard to push themselves and their peers and the company forward. It's very exciting stuff. I know, super dry. I don't know how many people are going to watch this, like, but I like this stuff gets me all jazzed up. Um, and honestly, just to wrap up, this is going to be a shorter episode. To anybody young out there, or even anybody older, this is what I tell my kids: you can do anything you want to. You can make anything a career at this stage. You really want to live your dreams. Start young. Do your research. Do your work. Anything worth doing is worth doing right. Regardless of what it is, be prepared to put the work and time in. Gaming. Look at people like Dr. Disrespect or the pro gamers or Tim the Tatman or any of these high yield streamers and pro Call of Duty, Halo players, CSGO players. They put in the work. The production value is insane. Their streaming numbers are insane. Their loyalty to their craft and their brand is insane. It's work and time and money. You got to put it in, even if it's something as simple as gaming. Music. You think these rock stars and stuff didn't put in the time and effort to become rock stars of their craft? No, it's not that simple of just being good at something. Professional athletes, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, epitomes of competition. They're in the gym. They're working on everything. They're working on their mind. They're working on the flexibility of their body. Look at Tom Brady's longevity. Nobody's played the game longer. No one's won as much. That takes hard work. That's not just talent. Talent's part of it, but hard work trumps talent every day. I'd rather take a less talented, hardworking person than the most talented, lazy person, period. But you can do whatever you put your mind to as long as you put the work in. This is it for episode 3. I appreciate anybody who comes and listens. Episodes 1 and 2 are out there. There's some shorts. I got TikToks and whatnot, excerpts from the show. I appreciate everybody coming to listen, everybody supporting. I'm excited to keep this content journey going. And I've said it before. I've said it again. Onward and upward. Seize the day, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you.